Time would be good too. 9:33. Somewhere around quarter of I'm supposed to stop. Well, Daddy does things on his own time, and I do things when I have to based on the situation. Diane just always tries to play the car or whatever, you know they're not going to beat you, but they're going to get in your way. I dream about the house I want to go to almost every night. She wants to throw everything away and go be nothing, and I don't dig it. She thinks like she's normal, but she's totally not, physically. She was all upset yesterday because we couldn't move everything out of the house and into the storage in 5 minutes, because that's about how much energy she's got. And today, yesterday she figured out, I think faster and bigger than I am. So we got everything that needed to go that she wouldn't give up out back. Thank God it wasn't going to rain. And then this morning we wake up about 6 o'clock, and then the lights go out and electricity goes out, and we live in the middle of the city, so you always hear people say, "You out too? Is everything out?" "Yeah." And someone yells out, "Yeah, I called the electric company. They said by 9. And we're trying to sleep. That's okay. It's just annoying. It happens. And later on in the day, I hear that the Penn Street Bridge, the main thoroughfare out of Reading across to the west, got a big crack in it. And then I turn on the news, and there's a fucking earthquake on the East Coast. Wow. Last one I heard, this one I didn't hear at all. Thank God it didn't tear down the city, because it's all made of bricks, and we know what earthquakes do to brick buildings. It certainly ruptured the bridge. So eventually electricity comes back on, and we go back to sleep. And we get up early because she always thinks she's a bionic woman. She's not. But it worked out. I had to get all the stuff she wouldn't give up into a storage bin. Luckily, instead of paying $110 for the U-Haul storage bin, same size, we went down the road and they said, we got a special on $30 a month for 6 months. Shouldn't take that. She's still, no matter how bad she feels, I ain't gonna let you have that house you want, because you won't let me have a trailer. I think trailers, if you can have a house, are ridiculous. If you live in an apartment, a trailer is one step up. But if you can have a house, they both are ridiculous. A house, you own the land eventually, and nobody can take it from you. If they own the land, they're just waiting for you to get sick or something so they can take it back and fill it up with somebody else. Oh, yeah. So, and then she had to have a blizzard. She's diabetic, and she get bad circulation too. She had to have a blizzard. And she's wondering why she's out in the car sick. Plus, she smoked twice as much pot as I thought she should. I said 2 hits will wipe you out. She smoked 4. Right? So she got a belly full of ice cream, and a diabetic ain't used to that. Number 1, the sugar, then the cold, and then the pot. And she's sick, and she's hiding out in the car because we bombed the house. We ain't as bad infested as some of those TV shows, but they're getting damn close, and time is now. And had to get done, and I still see a few. But I done cleaned up a mountain of them. Still supposed to work for a couple of days. Actually, it says it works for weeks, up to 2 weeks, and if it ain't done, you do it again. But you hope that nobody gets sick. So I took everything out. I mean, it's ridiculous, the amount of stuff that you can take out that you don't touch on a regular basis. The fish lived. Yeah, I covered them up. That's good. Yeah. In between, I ain't going where you want to go because you picked it. It's too big. It ain't. It's perfect. And it's exactly where I need it to be. Yet she ain't going. She'll try and die before I get it. But I got all the money. I'm like, not quite. I hopefully have $20,000 equity in this house. I put more into it than I'm ever going to get out of it. And I got an ace in the hole in the restaurant business, among other things. And I'm just embarrassed to even invite anybody in at the moment. Even if I kill all the roaches, it's still 2 or 3 packs a day, smoking, humidity. You got yellow dripping down the wall. It's really disgusting. And the dog's pissed all over the floor. It's not. You don't invite people to a place like that. You hide out there. But I'm fixing it. I can't do much fence, and she does things even slower, but she's got a mind on her like a fierce lion. And she just doesn't have the body left to back it up. Yeah. High stress cigarettes. I quit twice. Then I met her and I started again, and man, it's so much harder to quit the third time. I think if I ever get a chance to do what I'm really good at, when I drink enough, I think these things are worthless because I have better things to do. Most of the time I don't have better things to do. Someday maybe. Yeah. Colonel Gaddafi. According to the news, basically what they're saying is, you were such a freak in that world of the Middle East that they wouldn't back you up. That's why they let us go in and kick your ass from the air, and those down below who we hope are better than you get a chance. You know, can you imagine what, and Afghanistan is playing the same way. The whole Middle East hasn't really grown since the Bible times. But around the world we have talk about, when Bush was president and he was bombing Baghdad, he said, shock and awe. And that just kind of waves through me. What can we really do if we want to? That's why the Japanese gave up. Seriously, that's why we didn't have heavy-duty wars for 40 years. If we really want to, man, this planet ain't going to be only inhabited by roaches. Think about what you do and be careful. And I got a hair in my face. Finding out who your leaders are and what they live for, who they serve. Is it you? I don't know yet. it sure seems like Doctor Who's got a villain in charge, and Doctor Who knows how to ferret him out, doesn't he? The reason I'm getting to do this, actually, is because she's made herself sick. She'd be hyening and banshing, and I hate it when you do that. Well, I like to share my stuff with those who might care about it. And I know she don't care to hear about this stuff, so it doesn't get done. But somewhere in time it has a value. Cigarettes have no value whatsoever. They're a waste of time. But once you're addicted to them, very hard to kick. Like I said, I did it twice. Third time getting to be awful tough. Yeah. Yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah. Musicians play a different tune, eh? Now, I mean, if it busted up, we'll put a big crack in and made it unpassable for the bridge in Reading, PA. I kind of wonder what an 8.8 earthquake did to the rest of the East Coast. It's on CNN. Oh my God, an 8.8, which was pretty large on the East Coast of the United States. It never happens in history of the United States. It's happened before. Seismologists and those who study the Earth, what it does, know that it has. But nobody can tell you exactly when it's going to happen. It just kind of does. Like I was saying, I'm glad that it didn't kill me. I have things to do. Number one, I want to get to that house in blankety blank. I ain't putting no name on it because I want it, and I ain't giving nothing away. It's mine. It's a soldier's house. They are in the service. The bank can't foreclose. In better shape than mine in terms of cleanliness. It's not completely finished, you know, but that's okay. Considering I kind of know what's coming, being on the outskirts would be good for me. I typed it, but I didn't get to say it because she's been hounding the whole area here, so I can't. The guy in charge of Syria is ridiculous. He's like a fucking parasite. I don't want to die either. But you kill those around you to keep your face. And especially when you see what happened to the guy that was in charge of Egypt. You know, at least Hitler knew, if I don't win, have a bomb in my mouth. And his top staff had it too. You don't want to get caught by the enemy, man. It's better to die quick than to die that way. These guys don't have that kind of brain. At least Hitler still got a couple of bugs around him. at least Hitler and his staff knew if we don't win, you don't want to be around to talk to them. You want to go home. Wherever that might be. You certainly don't want to be alive when they're going to dig into you. They can make it really bad. And freak out is much better. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he must be there. That's good. And I wouldn't suggest that most of you ain't going to try and rule the world. He did. But if you try and rule anything by dark side, recommended, have a false tooth with cyanide in it. You lose, you don't want us to catch you because the whole idea of you not winning is worse than you can imagine. You're going to face it when you're dead, but you don't want to face it while you're alive as well.